This video has kindly been sponsored by the Caravan Buyers. They offer a unique, simple, speedy and honest service to value and buy your caravan that cannot be beaten. Link in the description. Hi, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. As the government are starting to ease the restrictions after the lockdown, I just thought I'd do this vlog about buying a caravan, as a lot of you may be considering it with the uncertainty with travel abroad. So this is our top 10 tips for buying a used caravan. So I just thought I'd come inside the caravan. It's a little bit windy outside, so tip number one, if a deal's too good to be true, it probably is. I'll put a link in the description to a little popular scam. I did a video on it, so you might find that helpful as well to protect yourself. The scammers use websites like eBay and Gumtree, and they also put local ads in newspapers and things like that to draw you in with these amazing deals. So be sure to check out that video and the links in the description. They usually use high-end caravans like twin axle caravans. Top tip number two, don't rush in. Buying your first caravan, it's always tempted to go hurtling in at 100 miles an hour, probably just like we did. You always get excited the first few caravans you see. It's all new, it's all exciting, but you just need to take a little step back, visit many dealers, sit in the caravans, get a feel for them, because essentially they are your home from home. You have to make sure it feels right and comfortable and it meets all your family's needs. Depending on your taste in decor, some caravans can feel really warm and cozy. That's my ideal caravan. Or you may prefer the modern, more clean, clinical look. Just make sure it feels right before you commit. Tip number three, layouts. There are so many layouts on the market. You tend to find the leading manufacturers like Swift and Bailey, those sorts of manufacturers, have their layouts that are their best sellers, and you tend to find the smaller caravan companies tend to follow. So they range from 2 berth up to 6 berth. You can get caravans with more berths, but generally the 2 to 6 berth. Layout is probably the most important thing, as this has got to accommodate your whole family. Tip number 4, set yourself a budget. You need to really think about how much you want to spend, and you've also got to think about how much you're going to have to spend on all the things that you're going to need for your caravan. I've also done videos of that if you want to look back through my videos. So you really got to set yourself a budget. There's no point in buying a caravan all singing, all dancing, if you're not going to have any money left over out your monthly budget to be able to go away in it. Think about the extras that come with a caravan. Do you really need all the modern day gadgets and toys that a lot of caravans have nowadays? Think about whether you're actually going to need them and use them. Tip number 5, think practically. Furnishings are very important. They've got to be comfortable, and if you've got a family like mine, I've got a very active 10-year-old little boy, and I've also got 2 very lively dogs, so a hard wearing material is really important. The caravan's got to be pretty well made and well put together and functional. The things you've got to consider are where are the plug sockets, where are the TV aerial sockets, where's your TV gonna go, how big is the kitchen sink, where is the oven placed, has it got burner and a hot plate, has it got a microwave, has the shower room got a decent shower that you're going to be able to get in and be able to shower easily in it, is the sink large enough to be able to be usable, is the toilet in the correct position. These are all things you've got to think about, because you're going to have to live with it once you've bought your caravan. You've also got things like, has it got any safety equipment like fire extinguisher, fire blankets, has it got an alarm or a tracker, has it got Alco ATC and Alco hitch. These are all things you've got to take on board and consider before making that choice of caravan. Tip number 6, dealers. It pains me to say this, but although you can easily buy from a private sale, I would always advise to go to a dealer. The reason being is you always have someone to go back to if there's any problems once you've got the caravan and you've been away in the caravan and you've found a few faults. There's always someone you can take it back to get these things rectified. You will probably pay a bit more from a dealer, but you will get a warranty. On second-hand vans, it's usually it does vary from dealer to dealer, you usually get 3 to 6 months. Most dealers will want to resolve issues as they won't want the bad press and your negative feedback, especially nowadays where there's so many websites that you can check a company's feedback. When negotiating to buy a caravan, don't be put off negotiating and play hardball. Even though it may only be a second-hand caravan, depending on, it could range from £2,000 to £15,000, it doesn't make any difference. You're still purchasing a caravan. They still will be keen to clear that space on their yard for new stock coming in. So be prepared to negotiate with them and ask them whether there's anything that comes with the caravan, like a starter kit, or maybe you can have a motor mover put on for a few extra pounds. You never know, it's worth a try. A dealer may throw in a few items just to clinch the sale. Tip number 7, check paperwork. Always ask to see all the relevant documentation, just so you can make sure the caravan that you're looking at tallies up with all the paperwork that come with it. The more paperwork, the better. If it's got a lot of sales receipts of services and repairs and things, at least you know the repairs have been done and it's been well looked after. Especially with a service record, you can see exactly what the caravan's been through in its life. Having a full service history is a good indication of whether a previous owner has looked after the caravan or not. Don't be put off buying a second-hand caravan, because you tend to find a lot of caravan owners treat it like their pride and joy. When you consider buying a caravan, I'd always advise to do a CRIS check on it, especially if you're buying privately. The CRIS website can be found in the description. What will a CRIS check show? Well, it will show you that you are dealing with the correct owner of the caravan. It will show you if there's any outstanding finance. It will show you if it's stolen, and it will also show you if it's been written off by an insurance company. When you do check the CRIS documents, make sure the number matches to what's etched on all the windows of the caravan, and they should also match the identification, the VIN number that will be engraved in the chassis, usually on the A-frame. If you're buying from the likes of an eBay seller, always check their feedback. If they've got 100% feedback, they're really unlikely to mess you around with regards to selling a caravan. Tip number 8, the inside. I would always recommend having an engineer come round and check over a caravan if you can afford to do that. If you can do that, always get an engineer to check over your caravan. He'll find any faults or problems with the van before you commit to buying it. He will then make a full report on the caravan status and list any problems or potential pitfalls that could potentially happen to you in the future. If a caravan comes with a good service record, it's more than likely been well looked after. When it comes to second-hand caravans and older caravans, always take a damp meter. It's worth buying one from the likes of B&Q or somewhere like that. It's one of the worst things for a caravan is damp. So it is worthwhile going over the whole caravan with a damp meter. Your sense of smell will be a good indicator of whether caravan's got damp. Don't be afraid to open all lockers and cupboards and drawers and things and having a good smell, because it will be a good indicator of damp. Always check with the damp meter that the main areas for water ingress, which is usually along the awning rail and the roof line where it meets the walls of your caravan. So don't be afraid to open up a locker and get that damp meter right along the top edges of a caravan. Any access lockers, make sure you put the damp meter around them. Underneath windows is another prime area for water ingress. And also a sign of water ingress or damp. Sometimes you get a bit of discoloration. That needs to be checked out and carefully looked at. Check furnishings for stains or rips or marks. Check all electrical items work and all gas items work. Dealers and private sellers will show you all these things working, and if they don't, there's obviously a reason why they don't want you seeing them working. I'd then ask questions. Tip 9, the outside. So what to look out for? Well, you need to go right round all the trims and seams just to make sure there's no split seams, make sure there's no breakages in that, make sure it hasn't been poorly resealed. If it's been poorly resealed, there may have been a problem in the past. Check round all the windows to make sure they all seal correctly, make sure all the window locks work properly, make sure your door locks properly. Check around your tyres, make sure there's a good tread on the tyres and no uneven wear on them. Check the sidewalls, if split or any cracks. Also check the valves that are intact and there are no splits or cracks in the valves. Have a good look round the hitch, make sure that looks as though it's been well looked after and maintained. Also check the breakaway cable. When you do go and have a look at a van, take a torch with you and have a look at the underside of a caravan. If any of the underside is marked in any way, that could be an indication that it's had a leak in the past. Have a good look along the side of the caravan. Have a look for cracks, dints. Have a look to any difference in paint colour, because that might be an indication that it's been filled. Check all service lockers lock correctly. Check inside the toilet cassette area, make sure that isn't damaged in any way. Ask to see if all exterior lighting works, like the awning light above your door, etc. Don't be afraid to look at older caravans. There are some bargains and some gems to be had. You will find that a lot of older caravans, even though they are a little bit older, they will have been really well looked after. Because like I said earlier, caravan owners tend to treat their caravans like their pride and joy. As most of us who have a caravan, it's like a home from home. And even if you do like a caravan and it's the right budget and the layout's perfect, maybe it's curtains that you may not like. Don't forget, things like curtains, they can be changed. Seating area can be recovered. So don't let an older caravan with maybe the furnishings are not quite to your taste. These things can be changed at a later date. And just as an extra note, if you do purchase a caravan, don't forget ask what length of warranty that they're going to offer you, what's included in the warranty and what's not included in the warranty, because not knowing that, you could get stung by it if anything was to go wrong with your caravan. So there you go, 10 tips for buying a used caravan. If you found this video helpful, or it's helped you make your mind and given you a bit of confidence to go forward and have a look and take the plunge into the caravan in life, then give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, it'll really help the channel grow. And if you're at the other end of the scale and you're wanting to sell a caravan, please consider giving today's sponsor a look by clicking the link in the description. So that just leaves me to say thank you so much for watching, and until next time, ta-ra.